Welcome back. Let's talk. Last week we saw the importance of emotion regulation and how the first step in that is to identify and become aware of the feelings we are undergoing when a situation is or event when a situation or event is unfolding, and also how this is done with the help of the clues that our own body gives us. Let's now go to the next step in understanding emotion regulation, and that is to get answers to two important questions. The first question is, how do I want to express these feelings? Having understood what these feelings are, how do I want to express them? And secondly, do I have any choices in the way that I express them? So far, we could have reacted in some typical ways and expressed these feelings as angry words or crying spells or just suppressing them, withdrawing ourselves, showing passive aggression, or sometimes even showing that anger against somebody else, like our children who could not protest. We saw last week that these are spontaneous reactions, as though we are on autopilot. The significant thing here is that when we do this, the others involved in these situations are also going to give automatic or spontaneous reactions because they are also on autopilot. So a pattern of interaction gets developed here, which is not helping both the persons. Both are finding it unpleasant and nothing gets resolved. So if we want to break this cycle, which is making us more unhappy by the day, we need to learn not to react on autopilot and see if we can give a well chosen response, whether we can have a control over that response. And why is it very important that we equip ourselves to choose a response and not remain on autopilot? Because we are constantly going to be faced by such situations throughout our life. And do I want to express my feelings the same way every time this happens in the future also? Or do I want to learn alternate responses? Do I have options? Can I express those feelings differently? So, this is the time to see how I want to resolve all such situations in future. Only when we start thinking in this manner, we give ourselves an opportunity to change automatic reactions into purposeful responses. At this point, we need to understand one more aspect about emotions. They can be broadly classified as primary emotions and secondary emotions. Primary emotions are those emotions which are deeper, tender, and more vulnerable, like sadness, fear, shame, loneliness, and so on. Secondary emotions are the more reactive emotions. As we saw above, when a situation unfolds, there is an automatic spontaneous reaction in us, isn't it? Those are the secondary emotions. They are like anger, jealousy, resentment, frustration, and so on. And close relationships like parent and child, husband and wife, they are called primary relationships, which is where we may also be showing our spontaneous reactions more. We be very much at ease with them and be showing only the spontaneous automatic reactions. One characteristic of primary emotions is that it brings people closer. Emotions like how sad I felt when you left without saying anything, or how scared I was when you did not pick up the phone, how ashamed I felt when you snatched this shirt away from me, or how ashamed I felt when you made a comment on my body image, or how lonely I feel when you turn away from me. Speaking from these primary emotions can make a huge difference in the other person's response. But there is a risk involved here, which we shall see a little later. If we apply this to the example we saw the previous 2 weeks, when the husband took away the shirt from his wife, saying, "I'll clean it myself." The wife's spontaneous reactions were from her secondary emotions. It was her autopilot reaction. And so was her husband's. So his automatic reaction was, "You're always like this. Whatever I say, you get angry." So he was also angry because he was also on autopilot. When we analyzed this a little further, we found that what was much deeper in her mind was a sense of shame, asking her, "Am I not capable of even this?" Sadness that, "Will my husband never respect me? Will he never consider me a worthy person?" And fear about her own future. If she had spoken from these primary emotions, her husband's response could have also been very different, right? Now, let's see about the risk involved in speaking from primary emotions that I mentioned a little bit earlier. As we saw, primary emotions are those tender, deeper, and very vulnerable emotions. And when we speak from there, we are revealing our deepest hurts and fears. We are actually opening up our hearts. But if the other person is still in his or her secondary emotion, that is, they're still angry or smarting from the event, then there's a possibility that this person would just brush aside what we are saying or even take advantage of our vulnerable position and, comment something like, "Oh, now, so you're now becoming more emotional. You're trying to emotionally blackmail me," or something like that. And that can hurt us much, much more than previously. So, and this can lead to further cycles of conflict, like, "I tried to speak to you from the bottom of my heart and you did this." And this adds to the history of patterns. So, when one person speaks from their primary emotion, which is very soft and tender, it is important that the other person is more or less in the same soft position. It has to be like a well coordinated dance, both of them approaching their primary emotions step by step. We need to realize here that the other person also will be having a lot of hurts and fears from their own perspective. And as much as we seek a safe place to speak about our hurts and fears, we also give them the safe and accepting space to speak from their primary emotions. So I always tell my clients, never approach primary emotions in a casual way. Don't mention them in passing. Then they are more likely to be tread on. Set up an appropriate date, time for that. Go on a date. Even with our own children, when we want to speak about something that's been bothering us in our interaction, tell them, "Amma, I want to talk to you about something. I want both of us to be relaxed when we do this. When can we have a heart to heart talk?" So, when both persons in a relationship can share from their primary soft emotions, then the relationship can reach a stage of secure bonding. As much as we are able to share from our primary emotions, relationships tend to become stronger. And as much as we express ourselves from the secondary emotions, predominantly anger, it tends to push our loved ones away, and the relationships tend to weaken over time.